Hey guys, thanks for tuning back into Mad Dog Fishing. Hey, if you're new to the channel, we cover everything from saltwater to freshwater. Guys, we just love fishing. When we learn something new, we pass it on to you guys. Today we're going to be talking about different ways to catch your bait. Now, since we've been living down here on the Gulf Coast, we've learned quite a few places to catch our own bait. I wouldn't say it's the cheapest way to gather your own bait, but it certainly is fun, and in the long run, most of this equipment will pay for itself. And we're going to go over some of that equipment. We're going to go over some of the locations that I like to go locate bait here in Gulf Shores, Alabama. Whether I'm in Fort Morgan or Orange Beach, I have just 2 or 3 spots that I really depend on to go catch bait pretty much year round. One of those places is West Pass. You can get ghost shrimp there, sand fleas, mullet, pogies, pinfish. It's a kind of a, I get a little bit of everything there. Outside of that, I have different places in the bay that I will go to catch bull minnows or shrimp and just a variety of different baits. But we're going to go over some of the equipment that I've accumulated since been living down here, the price of it, and try to cover the pros and cons of each. And we'll start off with the sand flea rake. Now, this is a cheap sand flea rake. I picked this up at Walmart. They do sell more of a commercial type sand flea rake, which is a lot better, but it's also a lot more expensive. This thing, if you're surf fishing, is a must-have if you're planning on fishing for pompano and redfish in the surf. Catching your own sand fleas, having your own live sand fleas is the way to go, and it's just a valuable tool to have. I think this one was like $15 at Walmart, if I'm not mistaken, and they can go all the way up to $50 for the bigger ones. And they're heavy duty. This is a lightweight one, but it works for us because we don't keep a bunch of sand fleas. We catch enough for the following day for bait. And at some point in this video, I'll show you what to look for when searching for sand fleas, or you can go to Phil Hollandsworth. He's really good. He goes out at night with a flashlight, which is the easiest way to catch them. You can see the telltale V's of the colonies a lot easier at night with a flashlight. But you can check out Phil Hollandsworth. I'll put a link in the description to that video where he goes out at night and just really loads up on sand fleas. And I'll try to get out and show you how we do it. And we're, like I said, this is a small sand flea. We don't catch a bunch at a time, but it works. Next thing we use is this cheap little net from Walmart. I think this was $6. We use this to catch our blue crabs. We go down to Shelby Lake, and you can literally wade in the shallows and just scoop them up. Just remember, when you're using blue crab, they do have to be legal size in Alabama, whether you're eating them or using them for bait. But they make an awesome bull red bait and black drum. So, yes, $6, great investment, and it's fun for the kids. Just kind of wade around and catch blue crabs. This is my ghost shrimp pump. I'm not very good at it, but ghost shrimp is an excellent surf bait. It's one of the baits we make sure we have when we go surf fishing. We make sure we have sand fleas, ghost shrimp, regular shrimp, and we just put a variety of baits out there to see what they're hitting, see what they're after. Some days they want shrimp, some days they want sand fleas, some days they want ghost shrimp. I'm not very good at this either. Some guys can go out there and get 3 or 4 dozen in an hour. I might get 5 or 6 in an hour. I'm just, basically I'm still learning how to use this thing. And I'll show you what to look for when hunting for ghost shrimp. You just look for the little mounds, usually in the shallows of the bays or right inside the surf where the water's a lot calmer. But this here is our bull minnow trap. We put fresh cut fish in here, and we usually hide these in the back bay somewhere and leave them out there for 5 or 6 hours, and we come back and we usually have enough bull minnows to go fishing with. We use the bull minnows for flounder, trout, and whatever. We've caught several nice reds down at Fort Morgan on bull minnows. And we opened up one side a little bit larger than the other, and the reason we did that is so we could get some smaller pinfish in here as well. But if you leave it out there too long, the bull minnows will swim out. They're pretty smart little fish, so it's good to check it every 3 to 4 hours. But the key to this is using fresh fish or clam strips. If you're using it for freshwater fishing, you can put bread in here for brim. Me and Christian used to do a lot of trophy catfishing, and bluegill, which is a legal bait here in Alabama, was our go-to trophy catfish bait. And that trap, let me just go over some of these prices on this ghost shrimp pump. You can make these yourself. There's a lot of videos out there where people actually make these. If you go to purchase one, they're about 35 bucks. And if you're going to be doing a lot of surf fishing, it's worth the investment. This trap, I think, was about 20 bucks at Walmart. If you plan on fishing for flounder and you don't want me getting up and having to wait for a bait store to open, it's just not ideal for me. So I like catching my bait where I know it's lively and fresh and I know where it comes from. But this is about 20 bucks at Walmart. Could be a little more, I'm not sure. Now, we're going to go over 2 different cast nets. These, to me, is vital. Whether you're freshwater fishing or saltwater fishing, having your own cast net is well worth the investment. Now, I've gone through a lot of cast nets in the past. Fishing on the river, they get hung up, and they get torn up, and gosh, it'll hurt your feelings when you lose a $70 or $80 net due to rocks on the bottom. But here in the Gulf, there's not a lot for it to hang up on unless you're throwing it in a bay with a lot of structure. But the first one we use is just a general bait net. This one's 6 foot tall. This 6 foot cast net has, I think, small mesh in it, and we catch our pogies, bull minnows, I mean, just everything with this thing. But if you accidentally throw it on a bunch of glass minnows, you'll spend a lot of time picking glass minnows out of the net. But this is pretty much our go-to net when we're looking for live bait for redfish. And then our other net now this is a much larger net. This is a mullet net. I just acquired this not too long ago, but this is critical if you plan on fishing live mullet for big bull reds, shark, or whatever. And this has 1 inch mesh on it, so the little fish can swim through it, but you'll be able to still catch nice sized pinfish and large mullet. And these nets are quite expensive, but they're worth the investment in the long run. If I had just one item to choose, I would probably go with a cast net because that is what we use mostly. Guys, all this stuff is, I probably maybe got $300 invested in all of it put together. For me, living here, it's a great investment because it helps me catch my own bait. Plus, it's fun. And I got something else to show you. A Sabiki rig. Almost forgot that. So, all right, guys, the Sabiki rig, you can pick these up from Walmart for about $2 a pack. They're disposable. Just make sure you dispose of them properly. Don't just throw them on the ground for birds to get tangled up in with them. If you're using them off the pier, there's a place, a line tube that you can put monofilament, and you can throw these away in. If nothing else, just throw it in a trash can. Don't just leave them laying around. If you have a way of storing them, that's fine. Sometimes we use a pool noodle. You can hook the hooks to each other, which is another technique we use for using it multiple times throughout the day. Kids love using these because when you drop them down over the side of the boat or the pier, you usually catch quite a few fish at one time. The only problem is these things can be very dangerous. When they come up and they're loaded with bait fish, you have a lot of swinging hooks, so just use extreme caution when using a Sabiki rig. Now guys, this is not the only way to catch bait. There's many other ways to catch bait. These are just the techniques that me and Christian use down here on the Gulf, whether we're fishing inshore or offshore, and depending on what species we're targeting, depends on, you know, if we're going after bull reds in the fall, we may go out and we may catch some blue crab. We may go catch some mullet for fresh cut mullet. In the springtime, when we're going after pompano, we'll use the sand flea rake or the ghost shrimp pump. When we're targeting inshore species during the summer, early fall, we'll use the bull minnow trap. And then we're going to go over some of the ways we keep our bait. And I just use these simple buckets, pick these up from Hooked Up Bait and Tackle. These are fine for keeping your sand fleas in. Just put a little damp sand in here to keep your sand fleas, especially if you plan on keeping them for multiple days. A little damp sand, not wet, but just damp. And they will last for 3 or 4 days. When we are in our kayaks, sometimes we'll use this trolling minnow bucket to keep our pinfish in, or bull minnows, and it just basically trolls behind us while we're kayaking. I've kind of gotten away from this because it creates a lot of drag when you're kayaking, but if you're anchored out, this is perfect for keeping your bait alive, whether it's shrimp, pinfish, bull minnows, whatever. Now this here is called the Cube by Igloo. It's just a small cooler. It's heavily insulated, and what I did, I installed a bubbler on top. I've got it fastened with commercial Velcro. That way I can just remove it to change the batteries if needed. I drilled a little hole in the top that goes through and feeds the and allows to aerate my bait. Now I use this a lot during the summertime, whether it's ghost shrimp, regular shrimp, minnows, whatever. This will keep them cool during the summertime and keep them aerated at the same time. You do need to change the water out. I'd say, you know, if you plan on keeping it for more than 3 or 4 days, just change the water out every 2 to 3 days, because shrimp and other fish create ammonia, and the water will get really nasty, and eventually your bait will die. But for a day trip, man, this is the way to go. It's kind of heavy. It fits perfect in the crate in my kayak. That way I've got live bait, easy access, and I know they're going to stay cool. Guys, I hope that helped y'all out when trying to decide what bait, what particular method you want to get catching bait. I mean, it's actually fun. We enjoy it just as much as we do fishing, getting out, catching our own bait. I mean, it's part of the process of fishing, and it's part of it we love. Some of the other locations that we love to go catch bait is Alabama Point under the bridge or along that wall. Usually at night, you got to stay away from directly under the bridge because there's a lot of rubble down there, and you will hang a cast net up. But if you move down from the wall a little bit, usually the bait fish will run school right along the wall. You throw that small cast net and you can get more bait than you'll need usually in one cast. Also there, you'll see past crabs also floating by. You can catch them with this. Some guys have with an extension on it where they catch past crabs and shrimp also floating through at night. Right there at Alabama Point. So that's another place you can go to catch your own bait. And then we like Shelby Lake. We go there for our blue crabs, and I'll have a clip up of us catching a couple of small blue crabs, and you know, I'll try to show a little clip of how each of these work. All right, guys, check out some of these clips where me and Christian would go out and we put some of these tools to the test. Some of them we catch bait, some of them we don't. We just kind of went out one day and just put them all to use, and we tried to stick to one location that was West Pass, and it produced, not so much with a cast net, but we're going to go back out and give it another try. So make sure you stay tuned for that.
Oh. Should have gotten some.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, about to say. I saw a bunch of them run away.
And we got that camera. Now we're getting into some good sized ones. Oh, dropped him. Sorry. There's a few more right here.
Got at least
Hey guys, we got some little ones right there. We'll keep them for the time being. Alright guys, we're just going to come back tonight. Alright guys, we just hit the Motherlode. Look at these. This is what we're looking for. We got several of them. And we don't have our sand flea bucket, so I'm just going to stick them in my pocket. And
they're air breathers, I think.
They are. But we found a nice little colony.
Just take the keepers and
we just need about 10 more of those, and
yeah. Oh! The good thing is they're not fast on dry sand.
Down here, I've already spotted a little crab. Oh, he's already spotted us.
Not a blue crab, I don't know what that is, but
That's a baby blue crab. Just doesn't have its colors yet. But guys, show how quick they are. They're fast little rascals. But they do have to be legal size. He's not legal, but he's actually perfect for bait. And you could probably get away by using him from bait. But just make sure you check your logs. There's another crab right over here, a little bit bigger. Just like that, we've caught. Just like that, we've caught 2 crabs.
100.
And so you can, but we're gonna let these guys go. We're gonna let these guys go because we're actually not fishing with crabs, and they're a little undersized. And but they make perfect bait guys for, like I said, bull redfish. And but you see how valuable that is. let's move on to the ghost shrimp pump. We got a few ghost shrimp. It's really too dark to record, and a little baby one.
We got 4.
Got 4. Catching ghost shrimp. Alright guys, let's see those. That's our ghost shrimp for the night.
Alright. We got some real nice size mullet. Some little guppy thingies. But we also got us a little blue crab, we think. I don't know if you can see it, you probably can't. But we got a nice variety of baits today, don't you agree?
Yes. We have been trying to find some blue crab for a minute. Fishing deep for redfish, blue crab, excellent combination. That's just a local secret. Don't tell nobody. One more cast. I was excited about the crab.
Maybe we can catch a bigger one.
Sink, sink, sink.
Nothing. Oh.
Another big old.
That's a nice one.
Another big old. I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is.
Big old bullman, I guess. Alright guys, we're gonna wrap it up with that. We've got more than enough for today. We got bull minnows, we got nice mullet, we got menhaden, and we got crab. Let's go. Hey guys, as you can see, catching your bait's really not that difficult. You just got to have the tools to get out and catch it. You got to plan ahead. Me and Christian, usually if we're going out surf fishing the next day, we'll go that evening and go ahead and collect our bait, depending on what we're going after. Right now we got a tropical storm brewing in the Gulf, and it's probably going to shut down surf fishing, kayak fishing, any kind of fishing for a couple of days. But usually after a good tropical storm or hurricane, fishing usually does really good. So looking forward to getting out there after this system moves through and see what all I can get into. Guys, thanks for watching the video, and we'll see you on the water.